Now back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show, which is presented to you by Power Planter Earth Augers, the official digging tool. To find the right size for your digging project, visit powerplanter.com. Now here are your hosts, Joey and Holly Baird.
Welcome back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show. Had a great show so far. Going to get to your garden questions momentarily. You can find all the information out about what we do and all of our programs and past shows at the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com. That's where everything is located. Well, if you want to send a question in, you can do that at gardentalkradio@gmail.com, or you can give us a call at 1-800-927-SHOW.
If you catch the carrot tops going to seed, can you remove the flower heads? Will it force the plant to send more energies to the carrots underground?
No, because once the carrots have gone to seed or sprout, or the seed heads, they've already been in the ground too long. They're already changing their chemistry inside of the carrot itself. And if you cut the top off, it's not going to revert into a carrot in which you can utilize. They're already beginning to focus on seed production rather than the root of itself.
Okay, so Kathy asks, is there a bagged type of compost you recommend to use in a raised bed? So you want to get a raised garden bed mix if possible. It's similar to a potting mix. If you make your own raised garden bed mix, you would use 50% of like a garden soil, 50% potting mix for a good drainage and aeration. You could take something like compost and then mix that with a topsoil with maybe some vermiculite, a little bit of sand, just depending on what you want to grow also. But just for a good raised bed mix, you want to do a raised bed mix or even just a potting soil mix.
I want to go back to the carrot question and clarify. Carrots go to seed in the second year. However, if it's extremely hot and the temperatures are stressing the carrots out, then it will go to seed, and you want to keep the carrots watered, and they take about 70 days to reach maturity. If you let them sit there for 90 days, you're going to see this occur even in the first year. So keep that in mind, that it will occur even because they're sitting in there too long and they haven't been harvested.
Okay, so I have 6 4x8 foot raised garden beds that I put them in about 5 years ago. I was afraid to use treated wood, but now the carpenter ants love this wood. They're eating them up. So should I use something like PVC planks? Some, treated wood still has, some of it has some warnings. What should I use? Well,
PVC planks will work. Now, that is the compressed plastic material that a lot of times are used for decking and other construction projects, and it will work. There are a lot of raised beds that are made out of this material. What I would advise is to shy away from dark colors, because that's going to absorb heat and radiate it into the soil and cause the soil to dry out quicker in the hot portions of the summer. So I would recommend a lighter color, a white, a grayish color. Try to avoid the black, dark colors that's going to really radiate heat into the soil. And in that can, even if you're watering, that can, accelerate the heat in the soil and can cause problems with your plants, because a lot of plants react to soil temperature, not necessarily ambient temperature.
Okay, so what is the best way to harvest microgreens? Will they continue to produce as you harvest them?
Microgreens, you just want to cut them off after about 2 or 3 weeks of growing. They're going to be about 2 or 3 inches tall. And peas are about the only microgreen that if you do cut them off at that height, they will regrow, but it's basically a one-and-done deal. And you'd want to take an 10 by 20 tray and plant in succession, so you don't have a whole tray of microgreens at one time. You could do it in thirds, and that way you can have a little harvest sustainably throughout a certain duration of time.
So Emily asks, my beets say they tolerate frost, but if we need a certain temperature to germinate, should I germinate them inside, put them outside in the chilly weather as soon as I see the green buds, so the green buds can be exposed to 30, 40 degree weather at night?
No. You can start beets inside. We've done that. And then transfer them outside and through the hardening off procedure at the correct time. By doing this, you're going to actually put the plant more in a shock than anything because you're taking it from, let's say, 70 degrees and then transitioning out to 40 degrees. The best thing you can do with beets is go ahead and plant them in the ground. We done it this week. The soil was a little on the cold side. However, in nature, the seed is going to sit there until the temperatures are adequate, and then it's going to sprout. So don't worry about starting it indoors, and then as soon as you've seen it sprouting, get it outside. Just go ahead and direct sow it. And when I say when the temperature is adequate, I'm not saying the soil is 26 degrees. Let's go ahead and plant the seeds now, and then when it gets warm. I mean, if the seed needs to be planted at 50 degrees and it's 42 or 43, yeah, it's fine. Go ahead and put it in the ground, and then when the temperatures warm up, they will grow and germinate just fine. One more question, Holly.
Bud writes in, I'm growing tomatoes in fabric bags this year. What model drip system do I need?
Well, we talked about a little bit in the second segment. DripWorks, they have a couple of drip irrigation kits for containers. And they have one that has the timer or with a timer or without a timer, and it can do up to 20 pots. And you can go to dripworks.com and look at their patio selection, I believe it's called, and a container irrigation system, deck garden irrigation system is the correct term that you would search for. And they can set you up with anything and everything that you possibly could imagine in regards to irrigation for your containers that will work in the containers, the raised beds, and traditional ground.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.